There are a number of mistakes that financial professionals make when they're trying to network and build relationships with what would be considered the affluent market. And one of the key mistakes I think they make is they think that affluent people aren't people, right? They forget that every person, no matter what adjective you put in front of them, is still a person, right? And so you see them do things like not actually build a relationship, objectify, meaning like I'm just looking at this person as an object. How can I possibly sell them, right? Who's gonna like that? I love when I see this, and it's it's funny and sad at the same time. And I see this on social media a lot, where financial professionals will say, "I work with high net worth individuals," and they'll actually go HNWs. No high net worth individual considers himself a high net worth individual. I mean, they might be, but they don't identify as that. If I ask them the 5 words to describe them, high net worth wouldn't be the one that they pick, right? And we laugh, but that's what we do. So I think the biggest mistake is that we forget that they're a human being. And if I want to build trust, and you might have an amazing opportunity to serve that person, but you have to still serve them first. And serving them really comes from connecting with them as a human and building that trust. I don't care how much money somebody has. It's something my mentor told me early on. People only do business with people they know, like, or trust. Know, like, and trust, excuse me. So if you don't have those 3 things, it doesn't matter what else you're saying, you're not going to get the business. If you can build those 3 things, you're probably going to get some opportunities from that. One of the biggest challenges that financial professionals have when trying to develop business with affluent clients is that they fail to actually create a niche that they can be known for. They fail to plant a flag and say, this is what I do. And when they do try to plant a flag, the flag that they have is, I help rich people. And again, that's not compelling. No rich person is going, oh, you help rich people, I have to be with you. What you really want to do is go, what are the challenges that this market has, and how do I serve this? I was talking to a financial advisor who worked specifically with very well-to-do doctors, right? And these aren't the guys who are just coming out of medical school. These are guys who own practices, very established, later in their careers, later in life. And he had really developed a niche around understanding what their needs were. He became an expert in not only the planning, but also the taxes and the insurance, right? Because that was a big thing in their world. He became known as the guy who took care of really well-off doctors because he understood everything they were going through. That's what you have to do. That's how you create a niche. You actually serve a group and help them with the problems they have. That's why having a niche is so important. So whatever that niche is, pick it and become the expert and really start providing value, and you're going to see people flocking to you instead of you having to go chasing them all the time. A big question that I get all the time is, are the affluent on social media? Do people who have money, are they wasting their time on social media? Of course they are, because everybody's wasting their time on social media. And it's not always a waste of time, but everybody's there. If you want to think, if people with money have time for social media, go hang out on Twitter and think about who are all the big Twitter accounts. There are people like, some of the celebrities, of course, but then there's people like Elon Musk. I don't know, he's just got a couple $1 billion, and he's on social media, he's on Twitter. Now, you might not be trying to sell to Elon Musk, or maybe you are, but they're there. And so how do you actually use this as an opportunity? Well, I think it goes to the idea of creating something that you're known for and really creating an area of expertise. I don't think it's about going out and just trying to connect with these people saying, hey, you've got a lot of money, can you connect with me, right? We see through that level of inauthenticity. But it really is about creating a community online and a network around whatever that area of expertise is that you have. If, let's say, you work with entrepreneurs and you work with some pretty well-to-do entrepreneurs, you'd like to work with more. Create a community online, whether it's through your LinkedIn profile, whether it's through Twitter, your blog, whatever it is, that you're like, hey, I work with, I hang out with, I talk to, I understand entrepreneurs, right? I understand succession planning, and I understand all of the different needs you have, the challenges, all this. Connect with me, right? And if you can find that community and then draw people in, because they're looking for solutions, and you might have them in this group, this network that you've built, then you can start a conversation, right? And from that conversation then becomes the avenue for opportunity. So that's why social media is useful. In fact, is incredibly relevant for those that are looking to work with an affluent market. One of the questions I also get about networking with the affluent is, how do you really bridge the worlds of the offline networking, the interactions, and the online? How do I go to the high-level CEO meeting, and then how do I actually follow up with them using social media? The easiest way of approaching this, because I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all solution, but the easiest way of looking at this is that it truly is an enmeshment of the two. And if you think about when you used to go out and meet somebody at a meeting, right, at a conference, let's say, or somebody you'd really like, hey, this is a great prospect, somebody I'd like to stay in touch with. We used to have to send them a letter or give them a phone call. We used to be able to send them an email, and that was it. That's all we had. Now it's, okay, where are they spending time? So it can be as simple as you meet a prospective client in the offline world. Go, okay, I want to get to know them, right? Social media. Let's see where their presence is. Hey, you know what? They're on Twitter. I'm going to follow them on Twitter. Or you know what? Let me invite them to my LinkedIn network to at least stay in touch there. Once you've established those lines of communication, then it's about sharing content, right? Sharing that area of expertise. That's why it's important to have an area of expertise, a niche that you're working with. And then it's also about listening to what's going on in their world. And when appropriate, it's about taking the relationship offline. I don't think we're going to live in the matrix and just communicate as pod people electronically with each other. The most successful advisors are using social media and digital communication as a tool to stay connected in a light way with a large group of people, and they're just conversing and going, oh, you know, there's an opportunity for me to take this back offline. Maybe I should make a quick phone call. Or hey, you know what, let me reach out and say, hey, should we grab a cup of coffee? Should we have lunch? And so, then maybe you have that meeting. Maybe it's not a time to help, maybe it's not. And if it's not, that's great. I'm gonna go back to social media and keep the relationship warm, and then I'll reach out again. And so again, I think it's a mesh, and it really just goes up and down. And that's the right way to kind of bring the offline and online world together.